Could you just start by, I guess, giving us a sort of brief explanation of the branch promise from Nationwide and what it entails, really?
Yeah, so the branch promise is great news for customers who like to come into the branch on a regular basis. What it means is that we've made a promise and a commitment to keep all 605 Nationwide branches across the country open now until at least 2030.
Yeah.
That promise extends to the 91 branches of Virgin Money as well, who've recently come under Nationwide's umbrella. So that means 696 branches guaranteed to remain open until the start of 2030, and hopefully longer as well.
Fingers crossed. And specifically for Alfreton then, why do you think it's important to still have physical branches in a world that's, ever more digital?
Yeah, a lot of people use digital services for their banking, of course, but there are things that you can't do online, or things that you're not comfortable doing online. Some people just want to come in just to see somebody, just for that reassurance that they're doing the right thing when they're sending money or withdrawing money or that sort of thing. We're here for them in all of those circumstances. We get people a range of ages, from people opening their first bank account. We open bank accounts for children from 11 years old. They can come in for the first time, so they're not sure what they want. They're not sure how it works. They want someone to help them to do it. And of course, we're there to help them. And then every step throughout the way, being as they get older, looking at savings accounts, looking at mortgages, moving house, investment, savings into the future, even right up to retirement and beyond.
Yeah. And particularly for those, I guess, younger people as well, which this will apply to more. In 2025, how do you sort of strike that correct balance between, a physical branch and showing them, here are all the digital tools you can use too, if you want to?
Yeah, so we have a number of digital demos. So we've got these that we can share, so we can show the customers how they can do things online. We can send them that as email as well. So they've got that there. So if they want to go and try and do something at home using the computer themselves, they've got a demo there that walks them through it and talks them through it. So it gives them a step-by-step guide of how to do it.
Yeah.
But making sure they're aware, obviously, that if they're unsure, they can ring us, we can speak to them on the phone and we can talk them through it. They can also come into us at the branch, we can sit down face to face and go through it all with them. We'll do demonstrations in the branch. So if someone's wanting to open a new account and they want to do it on the online or on the app, so that they want to know how they could do it again in the future, for example, we'll sit down with them. We won't take the phone off them, of course. We'll let them do everything on the phone, but we'll walk them through it and we'll go through right the way through it with them. And they'll open the account themselves online, but with our support, so that they can then go away and do it themselves next time they want to do something like that.
Yeah. And so it's the case in Alfreton that Nationwide is the last bank standing, with the exception of the banking hubs and stuff like that.
With
Lloyd's closing
from January. Lloyd's closes in January.
Yeah. And obviously, this is a trend that's across the country. Like Ripley's the same. They've got zero banks at the minute with a banking hub on the way.
Yeah, and Matlock not far away.
Yeah,
exactly the same again there.
Yeah, and so I imagine with the sort of increased footfall, I guess, into Nationwide branches, with you being the sort of some of the last branches open now, how are you adapting to that? And
Yes, obviously we are seeing a lot more people come through since Lloyd's announced that they were closing their branch. I think we saw the announcement originally late August, early September. And since then, we've seen more than 200 Lloyd's customers alone come over and bring their current account and bring their banking over to Nationwide, which obviously we've been able to help them to do. We've actually got a great incentive on at the moment, £175 for the switch offer as well. So just an added bonus, because a lot of those customers, they're not coming over for the £175. They're coming over because they want a branch. They want to be able to come and see somebody face to face whenever they want to do any of their banking, or whenever they've got any issues or concerns about any of the banking. That's why they're coming to us. The £175 is an added bonus. Which is just perfect timing. So obviously it's meant we have seen a lot larger numbers coming into the branch, more people using the counter and that sort of thing. We are looking, so in February next year, we will be having a branch transformation. So we'll be sort of refreshing a lot of it, brightening it up, that sort of thing. But also that'll make it easier for us to position where we can see people. We'll be having more office space. So at the moment, we've got 2 offices, both downstairs. We'll be introducing a 3rd office space upstairs in the branch as well. We'll be having extra staff members coming over on some days. So we have a gentleman who works in one of our other branches. Will be working with us a couple of times a week, once a fortnight actually. But he'll be helping more vulnerable customers in particular to open the accounts that they can't do themselves using the digital services. And so that office upstairs, that sort of thing. So more space, more people, and all on hand to help the customers, which is great.
Yeah. And you've sort of touched on this, I guess, in the last few questions, but having a physical branch, how does having that physical branch sort of help support people in the community who are maybe, financially vulnerable, financially unstable, in comparison to if they were with, I don't know, Halifax, for example, and they've not got a physical branch in the town?
Yeah. I mean, one of the great things, just today, I've spoken to a customer who came in because he received a phone call last night that said they pretended they were calling from Nationwide, or tried to encourage him to believe they were calling from Nationwide. And they told him that all the money had been taken out of his account, and so he needed to protect it, to speak to them, and obviously he panicked. Doesn't use any of the online facilities. Did say to us, I spoke to him about this, if he had have used the online facilities, because of that call, he'd have been reluctant to go online, thinking that it'd been hacked or whatever. People get different ideas of what can happen online. So as soon as the branch opened, he came down to see us, which meant we could sit down with him, print everything off, show him everything, reassure him that all his money was completely safe. It's just that arm around the shoulder, really, I suppose, that you just can't get from anywhere else. And one of the big advantages of a local branch like this, a community sort of branch, is we are part of the community. A lot of the staff downstairs have been working here for a number of years. They've known a lot of the customers for a number of years, and the customers know them. So when something doesn't feel quite right. When you're speaking to a customer and they say whatever it is they're telling you about why they want to send some money to something, you can know, because you know them, you've got a relationship with them that you can't get digitally. You've got that relationship, to see the signs of what's not right, what doesn't feel normal for that customer, which means we can help them and we can really look after them that way. The truth is, we also get some customers who just come in. We might be the only people they speak to on that day. And that's something that we wouldn't want to take away from the customers, is it?
Yeah. And I mean, I guess that sort of brings me on to my last question sort of perfectly, in terms of the benefits of having a physical branch, in terms of things you can do in the community to help the community, in terms of, schemes that you get involved with and charity work and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you might notice from my attire today, this isn't quite normal for me. We work with a number of different charities for Fairer Futures. One of them is Action for Children. They've got their Secret Santa campaign at the moment, and it's their Christmas jumper day. So hence me being dressed like this. And obviously I will be donating money to that charity for that. We've also recently donated money to the Royal Marsden Cancer charity, where members of the branch walked 50 kilometres over the course of the month in September to raise money for that. And a lot of customers helped get involved with that and donating for us to do those walks and asking us about how we're getting on with the walks and all that sort of thing. But there's a lot more goes on in the branch. Obviously, we've got the counter service, we've got offices where you can sit down and talk about earning accounts, that sort of thing. But we've also got designated safe spaces in the branch. Those are places where anyone suffering from domestic abuse can come in, and it's a safe space where they can be in a room on their own, not necessarily with us. We don't have to be in there. They can just be on their own with the door shut, so nobody else can go into them, so they can gather themselves or whatever, or make any phone calls that they need to make in private, that sort of thing. That's always available to them. There's also a phone number they can ring to get advice and support with that as well. And we partner with Dementia UK, and we have Admiral nurses coming into the branch. So they'll have appointments where you can book in, you can come and sit down, speak to them about dementia. So that could be, they can support people with dementia, they can support people supporting people with dementia, if that makes sense. So that service is available in over 200 branches and has already seen over 4,000 appointments since it was launched. We've actually got one coming, we had one early on in the year in August, and we've got one coming again for 3 days at the start of February. That's the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the start of February. So yeah, that's brilliant.